Welcome back to your channel. Today we're diving into an important change in U.S. vaccine policy, a vote by CDC advisors to restrict use of the combined MMRV vaccine for younger children. What does this mean? Why is it happening? And what could the consequences be, both positives and negatives? Let's break it down. Let's get you to know what is MMRV vaccine, and don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. The MMRV vaccine is a combination shot. It protects against 4 diseases in one: measles, mumps, rubella, and varicella, chickenpox. The idea behind combo vaccines is simple: fewer shots, fewer clinic visits, which often means better compliance, less discomfort, etc. Historically, children around 12 to 15 months of age receive their first dose of MMRV, or alternatively separate MMR and varicella. The second dose typically comes between ages 4 to 6 years. On September 18, 2025, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, or ACIP, the group that advises the CDC on vaccine schedules, met and held a vote with 12 members. Key points from the vote. They voted 8-3, with 1 member abstaining, to stop recommending the MMRV vaccine for children under age 4. ABC News, +3. AP News, +3. CIDRAP, +3. In place of the combo shot for that age group, they recommend using separate MMR, measles, mumps, rubella, and varicella, chickenpox shots. CIDRAP, +2. CBS News, +2. The combo MMRV shot still may be used for the second dose, typically at ages 4 to 6. ABC News, +2. CIDRAP, +2. Another vote was held regarding whether to change coverage under the Vaccines for Children, VFC, program, a federal program that ensures free access for eligible children. That vote concluded that coverage under VFC will remain for the combined vaccine for younger children, even though the recommendation is being restricted. So, what led them to make this change? The decision wasn't made lightly. Here are the main reasons cited. Risk of febrile seizures. Studies have shown that giving the combined MMRV vaccine as the first dose in younger children, especially those between 12 to 23 months, or more broadly under age 4, carries a slightly increased risk of febrile, fever-associated seizures compared to giving MMR and varicella separately. CIDRAP, +1. These seizures are generally brief, don't cause lasting harm, but are understandably concerning for parents. CIDRAP, +1. Desire to minimize adverse events even if rare. The committee discussion included concern that while the risk is rare, reducing even rare events could help maintain trust in vaccines. CIDRAP, +2. CBS News, +2. Shifts in vaccine policy philosophy under the current leadership. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has reorganized the advisory panel and has expressed intent to re-examine established vaccine schedules. CIDRAP, +1. Some members who have expressed skepticism about vaccine policy joined the panel recently. CIDRAP, +1. Weighing convenience versus risk. The combined vaccine is more convenient, fewer shots, fewer doctor visits, but that convenience needs to be balanced against even low risks. Some in the meeting argued that separating shots might reduce compliance. Others argued the risk trade-off is worth it. Any policy change has both upside and downside. Let's walk through them. Pros. Reduced risk of febrile seizures in younger kids. Even though the risk is low, reducing it may lower incidence of scary, but generally harmless events. Potential increase in parental confidence/trust if they feel the policy is more cautious. More precise matching of vaccine strategy to age-specific risk profiles. Cons/concerns. More shots/clinic visits. Parents of children under May 4th need to go to the doctor more often or endure more needle sticks if using separate shots rather than one combo. That could burden families. Lower vaccine uptake/compliance. With more injections, some parents may skip or delay vaccinations, which opens risk of outbreaks. CIDRAP, +1. Confusion among providers and parents. Changing recommendations can cause misunderstanding. Mixed messages might lead people to distrust vaccines or misunderstand what they should do. Potential access or cost issues outside programs like VFC, depending on how insurance or state policy adapts. If insurers drop coverage for combo version for under 4s outside VFC, parents may have to pay more or lose choice. Axios, +1. Equity concerns. For low-income families or in areas with limited healthcare access, fewer shots or clinic visits matter. Making things more complex could disproportionately affect underserved communities. Is the evidence sufficiently new? Critics point out that some data cited is old. There was concern within the meeting that presentation lacked new safety data. Some asked, what problem motivates this change now? So this vote by ACIP is advisory. It still needs approval. The CDC director, or acting director, or the Secretary of Health and Human Services must accept or reject the recommendation before it becomes official. ABC News. +2. CIDRAP. +2. If approved, the CDC immunization schedule will be updated to reflect that for children under 4, the combined MMRV vaccine is not recommended for the first dose, and separate MMR plus varicella vaccines are preferred. The Vaccines for Children (VFC) program will continue to cover the combo vaccine for younger children even under the new recommendation, so the option remains for eligible families. CBS News. +1. Insurers, state programs, and clinics will have to adjust their guidance, contracts, and practices. Public communications will be vital to avoid confusion. Also, the committee postponed the vote on changing the recommendation for the hepatitis B vaccine's timing at birth. That is something to watch next. ABC News. +1. Section 6. Implications for parents, public health, trust, 1330 to 1500 hours. Visuals. Parents talking, public health data, trust charts. Narrator. Let's wrap up with the implications. For parents, you'll want to check what your child's doctor recommends. If your child is under 4 and due for their first MMRV/varicella vaccine, you may have to take 2 shots instead of 1. Understand risks versus benefits, and if you have concerns about febrile seizures, talk to your pediatrician. For public health, if compliance remains high, the change could slightly lower rare adverse events without compromising immunity. But if more parents delay or avoid vaccines, that could create gaps in community protection, which matters for diseases like measles that spread quickly. On trust, healthcare authorities must communicate clearly. When recommendations change, people often worry. Are the changes based in new science or politics? How were experts selected for the panel? These questions can affect vaccine confidence. Long-term precedent. This vote may signal more changes are coming in vaccination schedules, not just for MMRV, but also for other vaccines, as seen with hepatitis B being considered. How this process is managed could matter a lot for future policy. Conclusion, 15 to 1530. Visuals, summary graphics, key takeaways. Narrator. In summary, the CDC's vaccine advisory panel has moved to restrict the use of the combined MMRV vaccine for children under age 4, primarily due to concerns over slight increases in risk of febrile seizures. The combined vaccine remains an option under some programs, but the preferred recommendation is now separate shots for MMR plus varicella for that age group. The vote is not yet final until approved by CDC leadership. If you're a parent, healthcare professional, or interested citizen, pay attention in the coming weeks to how health authorities implement these changes. You deserve clarity. Thanks for joining us in this deep dive. If you found this useful, please subscribe, hit the bell, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments.
See you next time.